Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and in this Battlefield 1 video we're going to be looking at squad composition and how you can set up to be as effective as possible to help your team get the win. Now I'm planning on doing a mini series of squad tips, so if you guys find this video useful or entertaining, then I'd be really grateful if you could hit the like button before you go, and it will help give me an idea of what videos to make in the future. So let's jump to it. As you'll see, all of my footage is from a variety of game types, mostly rush and domination, and just so you know, I've tried to include as much of what I'm talking about in the footage as I can, but it's simply impossible to manufacture for quite a lot of it, as the ideas jump around a fair bit. So you should also note that these tips are for objective-based game types. Team Deathmatch won't really come into it much here, but I'm sure some of what I say can still be applied. So, squad composition. This is a really obvious point to bring up, but one that I feel is necessary considering the recent meta. Fingers crossed this changes with the new DLC, and there have been hints that it will, because there is a distinct lack of support class players in the game. So what is the best squad composition? And the answer is that there isn't really a single set of classes when you put them together that will be better than any other. There are so many different weapons and ways to play in Battlefield 1 that it really comes down to what you're best at, and so you need to make sure you're playing to the strengths of your skill set as a group. That being said, if you've got 5 people in your squad that are best at sniping, you're going to be on the struggle bus pretty early on, as you won't really be able to affect the objectives enough. The thing to remember is that you need balance and versatility. Having long range and short range specialists is always a good idea, and having someone running heals or revives to keep your squad alive is never a bad one. Some of the combinations I found to be most effective are 1 assault, 2 medics, 1 support and 1 scout. In this case, 1 medic might want to run a healing crate or pouch, and the other choose to use the medical syringe. This combo is more effective in infantry only game types, as your ability to take down vehicles is reduced a bit because you've only got 1 assault, but the trade-off is the potential for revives and heals. Another option for those larger maps with vehicles, you could choose 2 assaults, 1 medic, 1 support and 1 scout. This will obviously massively increase your effectiveness against vehicles. That word was effectiveness. But getting picked off by snipers can be a big issue on some of those maps, especially something like Suez or Sinai Desert. What I tend to do is have 2 scouts to increase counter-sniping capabilities, and make sure everyone's carrying a light anti-tank grenade and has some form of anti-tank gadget on them. It helps for your squad to be versatile and to be able to change on the fly as well if need be, so be prepared to swap for a specific task. Try swapping from scout to assault or picking up a kit to help bring a tank down. It's a hugely beneficial thing for your team if you focus vehicles together. More often than not, they get taken out very quickly, and this obviously limits the damage they can do to your team. And all because 5 of you decided to damage it at the same time. It's a no-brainer. As you've probably noticed, there is the running theme of at least 1 support player, and this for me is the most crucial role in the squad. By only using 1 button, they can keep the effectiveness of your squad members at its maximum potential for as long as they stay alive. The support player is the reason your scouts can keep lighting up areas with their flares. They're the reason your assault players can keep laying down damage on vehicles. They are the reason your medics can keep firing grenades off the end of their rifles. On a more serious note, the support class has hugely dropped in popularity over the last few months, and it does so increasingly as each buff to the weapons seems to leave the LMGs in the dust. But as an avid support player, I found this doesn't actually have to be the case. The weapons are just as powerful as those in the other classes if you use them in the right way, and they still allow for a variety of play styles. The popularity suffers because it takes more skill to be a support player, and to be successful as well. The weapons are simply harder to use, and don't currently play into the meta. But if you can get through a game with a ton of resupplies and a decent KD, then you've done your whole team a service that not all players could manage. When you're playing as support, if you like to run and gun, there's rarely a better choice than the BAR. I recently made a build centered around it, so make sure you check that out after this video. And with options like the MG15 or the Xiaosha, you're always going to do well at mid to long range, both of which I've also made builds for, so check the description for links to those too. For your squad, you basically need to use your skills the best you can. If there's someone particularly good at communication, then maybe they can play as scout using spotting flares and a vantage point and could call out what's happening in front of the rest of your squad. If you've got a strong run and gun style player, then put a Hellriegel or BAR in their hands and watch them go. Similarly, if someone has very strong movement skills, then maybe try them as a res medic to keep you all alive when you're under fire. So those are my thoughts on squad composition. What do you guys think? I want to know what combinations you guys use when you play. So let me know down in the comments below. If you've had a good time, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button too. Make sure you share this video with whoever and wherever you like. And until next time, that's Dame over. Peace.